Hello and welcome to Microsoft Mechanics Live. Coming up, we're going to take a look at new capabilities as you shift to a modern desktop featuring CVP Brad Anderson. We're going to cover the latest updates across Microsoft 365 to really simplify planning, provisioning, and also post-deployment phases, including new ways to validate compatibility of your Windows and Office deployments and updates at scale, options to manage your user data, sync files, and protect information, as well as new ways to deploy Windows and Office while staying current with the latest updates. So please give me a warm welcome for Mr. Brad Anderson, CVP.
Oh, that's nice.
Microsoft 365.
It's great to be here, Jeremy. I got to say, I'm a huge fan of Microsoft Mechanics. What you guys have created is amazing.
Thank you, thank you. So it's really modern desktop. It's one of those things, it's a recurring theme. We're hearing it a lot this week. It's part of what we talk about as part of digital transformation. And to a lot of us, it probably sounds like it's a meme or it's maybe some marketing buzz, but what does that actually mean?
You know, really, you think about the modern desktop, it really is a paradigm shift. And it takes things to a whole different level. In the modern desktop, everything, and I literally mean everything, is connected to the cloud. Windows, Office, management, security, it's all connected to the cloud. And that cloud connection makes your users more productive. It gives you, in IT, superior insights and control because it puts the full power of the Microsoft Intelligent Cloud behind you. Now, specifically, as you cloud connect everything that you have, you can take advantage of, first, simplified management of your desktop, devices, and cloud services, as well as compliance updates, updates that enhance your security, advanced data protection, and finally, and of course, those cloud capabilities make your users far more productive. Now, the experience comes together within Microsoft 365 across Windows, Office 365, and EMS. That's where you get all these capabilities.
All right, so but for the IT pros that are supporting organizations maybe with older versions that we heard about before of Windows or Office, they're trying to figure out how do I make that shift to a modern desktop? What are we doing there to make it easier?
You know, the good news, if it's been a while since you've upgraded to a new version of Windows or a new desktop, things have improved dramatically. In fact, we now have the ability to give you, first of all, detailed guidance on all the steps that you need to take, organized across this desktop deployment wheel that you're seeing right now. And you can use that to use your existing tools and processes. And then there's a whole new set of tools, as well as modern management capabilities across the PC lifecycle that bring you to that management simplicity once you've made the shift.
Great, yeah, so then it's really a familiar process, hopefully, for a lot of people that have done deployments in the past and people looking to learn more. We've actually got a new series on Microsoft Mechanics. It's called Desktop Deployment Essentials, featuring Brad and myself going through all the steps on the wheel, but why don't we drill into what's new?
Okay, so first, as you plan your shift, is device and app readiness. Now, historically, one of the biggest costs and time commitments of upgrading to a new version of Windows and Office has been the manual testing to verify compatibility of your apps, driver, hardware, and Office plugins. So first of all, let's be really clear. We have greater than 99% application compatibility with Windows 10. And unlike anything we've had before, we now have the ability to give you more peace of mind as we put the power of the Microsoft Cloud to work to help simplify your efforts in verifying compatibility. We have more than 700 million PCs that send us back telemetry on a regular basis. This gives us this global view of the hardware, the drivers, the third-party applications, and Office add-ins being used in their compatibility. And just imagine what we see. Now, we're able to learn from the 700 million and then apply that learning to your individual estate. And putting this data to work helps you to dramatically reduce the amount of time and effort to understand compatibility for your estate through what we call desktop analytics. Now, leveraging what you already have, using your Config Manager, you connect your Config Manager deployment to the Microsoft Cloud. What this enables us to do is take the learnings from the 700 million PCs that we see and apply those learnings to your own individual estate and organization. This enables us to give you an upgrade readiness report of your hardware, your drivers, your third-party add-ins, and the Office third-party apps, and the Office macros and plugins. We see in Config Manager data that the average enterprise has more than 2,000 applications, and often 80–85% of those applications are internally developed applications that only exist in that organization. Our new desktop analytics capabilities also is able to now look at those internal applications, and it finds the apps that have compatibility challenges and actually gives you the details of exactly what it is. Now, if you find any apps that have compatibility challenges with Windows 10, we're launching a new Fast Track service on October 1st called Fast Track Desktop Aperture. This new service enables you to literally contact my engineering team. We'll look at your app, and if we see that the issue is a Windows issue, we're literally going to go get the Windows fix made in Windows. If the issue is with your application, we'll work with you to actually fix your application. The bottom line, this new service will help you rapidly fix any app compatibility issues that you see so you can unblock yourself and get upgraded and shifted to that modern desktop. Now we take everything that we learned through the desktop app assurance program, and we feed it back into Windows, and we feed it back into the readiness assessment capabilities so that we're constantly getting better. Now the internal name of this as we were building it was literally No App Left Behind.
Right, it's a great name as a kind of a beta name, but now with the new name, we actually provide this service for anybody to use and take advantage of.
That's right, and now finally what we do is we auto-populate the configuration manager groups with a set of PCs that are representative of your hardware, drivers, and the apps in your organization, so you can start immediately piloting these new releases of Windows and Office to your organization as quickly as possible. This is just such a wonderful example of the Microsoft Intelligent Cloud changing how management is done dramatically and accelerating your shift to the modern desktop.
And it's really going to give a lot of people confidence really to make that shift. But can we take a look at what some of this looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. So many of you are using Windows Analytics today, and you should continue to use that. Moving forward in the coming months, we're going to be building on what we call the desktop analytics capabilities. And so I'll give you a view here. I'm going to give you a first view of what we're looking at here and we're building. This is our new home dashboard, and you can see all the devices, apps, and Office add-ins in your entire estate. You use desktop analytics by building what we call deployment plans. I select a config manager group that I want to use for my pilot deployment. Sorry, get through. I show you that config manager group. I get a view of all the applications in my organizations, including those internal line of business applications. And if there's a problem with your application, we actually will service it right here so you see exactly what it is. It literally shows you exactly what the issue is. This application has got a 16-bit set of libraries in it. We need to upgrade that to some 32-bit libraries.
Right, and this is really going to accelerate then the process to upgrade to Windows 10. It's great that we get this holistic view to help drive device targeting decisions even as we pilot.
We even do more to help you here. Today, most deployments begin with piloting a new version of Windows out to the IT department. Now, if you just stop with the IT department, you really don't get a representative group of the PCs and of your estate. So what Desktop Analytics does to help you here is we incrementally phase your deployment, starting with a small group that has broad representation of your desktop estate. Then you can move to user-specific populations and devices and understand the impact before you broaden to the entire organization and go to production.
Okay, so do these tools then integrate directly with the device collections that a lot of us probably have in Config Manager?
They absolutely do. And here what you're looking at is a pilot group that was selected in the Desktop Analytics group. And you can see that I have a deployment plan right here. So the first thing I want to call your attention to is that number 22 in the middle. That 22 is the number of PCs that are in that config manager group, and right above that it says 53.04%. That is the coverage of your hardware, apps, and drivers that you would get if you deployed out Windows and Office to that setup, that population. Now here's what I think is really cool with what we've done with Desktop Analytics. What we're coming back and giving you a recommendation here and saying, all right, if you add these 89 PCs, what that's going to do is that's going to increase your coverage of your estate by 45% or 46%, getting you full coverage of all your apps, all your hardware, all your drivers, and all the Office add-ins. This is what allows you to now go test in production rapidly. You get feedback back instantly from this population. You can validate all your applications in production, all your drivers, all your hardware, and then that allows you to move on to the entire population.
Right.
Now, what many of you have been doing for many, many years has been doing this via humans. And it's pretty common. I talk to organizations, and you've spent months and many people years in just doing the validation, the compatibility testing. We can now automate all of that through what we call Desktop Analytics. And then with that integration with Config Manager, do that end-to-end scenario that just rapidly helps you to shift to the modern desktop. And then, of course, in terms of how you're going to track this, you're looking at the Config Manager console here. Config Manager is what the bulk of the world uses for managing their PCs. And you can see here, there's that group that I had selected. I can see what the deployment status is. And as I shift down here, what you're seeing in those columns is it's giving me insights into specific things that I should go take action on. But this is how you're going to be able to keep up with all the frequent updates that are coming out for Windows 10 and for Office Pro Plus by leveraging the power and the intelligence of the Microsoft Cloud to help you and to augment your capabilities.
Okay, so now once you're on Windows 10 and Office 365 Pro Plus, does it get easier to stay up to date?
It does. One of the advantages of the modern desktop is we just make it easier for you to stay current. What's happening right now is we're introducing constant ripples of changes in technology, where in the past, we would give you like a massive wave of innovation once every 3 or 4 years ago. And so what has to happen is we have to change the tools that we're building, but you also have to change the approach and your processes to fully take advantage of this change. And so we deliver feature updates on a semi-annual basis, and we just announced that we're going to make it easier to stay up to date by giving you time to adapt.
And it's something that many of us in IT have been asking for, and it's really great to see that additional flexibility. What's the process for then to get feature updates deployed once you're on Windows 10?
So right now, everyone should be using what we call Windows Analytics. That's the forerunner of what I just showed you in desktop analytics. Use that right now so you can start to plan the future as you roll out the updates. Once your PCs are all enrolled, you can start to automate the validation checks for each feature updates as it's been released. You can stay ahead of these changes using our tools and feel good and feel confident about the updates, making data-driven decisions as you roll out and ultimately reduce the workload needed and the time required to stay up to date.
Right, and it's really great to see these updates are getting apps, therefore getting apps and devices really ready for deployment. So now that we know that devices are ready to target, the next question is, how do I move data, user state, from old PCs to new PCs? Because the users are going to expect that data from their old PC to be on the new PC we give them.
Yeah, this is a really important question, Jeremy. As I think about the modern desktop, all of the user's data is stored in OneDrive. Now, this gives you three big benefits. One, all your data is backed up and protected. Two, it massively simplifies what has to be done as you replace a user's PC. And three, your data is even protected in the case where the PC is infected with ransomware. And so
is there an easier way then to manage this and really move that user state to the cloud?
We've made big progress on this. Historically, it hasn't been that easy to do. So what you're looking at right here is a new tool from the OneDrive team called Known Folder Move. It's new to Windows 10 1803 and as well as Office 365 ProPlus, and it just really is an incredible tool. OneDrive Known Folder Move quickly and easily moves your users' data, pictures, and anything stored on the desktop into OneDrive. And of course, you can use policy to drive this through Configuration Manager to move and enforce protection and sync everybody's documents, the desktop, and the pictures up into OneDrive. You can roll this out as policy, so this happens in the background. And now this isn't just a one-time thing that you do. You need to get this done right now so that every time the user gets a new PC, their data's up in the cloud and just flows down to the new PC that they get.
Right.
And once you've done it, it also means that your users can get access to their data from any device anywhere on the planet. Now, shifting to OneDrive means that they can securely reach those docs from their phones, their tablets, their PCs, anywhere, anytime.
So I know a lot of people are using Config Manager. How many of you are using Config Manager, by the way? Almost every hand is up if you're watching at home. So how does it fit into the picture then to help with the management of modern desktop devices?
Yeah, so first of all, one of the data points we gave out this morning is the combination of Config Manager and Intune is now managing over 150 million PCs and mobile devices. And just to give you a perspective, that's 50% growth from a year ago. And what we see is every week there's a million new devices that roll in. So it's just this phenomenal tool, and it really is the foundation and the tool that almost all of you are going to use as you shift to that cloud-attached, modern, secure world. Now, you can cloud-attach your Config Manager, manage Windows 10 PCs to Intune and AD, and immediately start using these new incremental cloud capabilities. Now, the way that I think about this is I think about if you're just using Config Manager current branch, you are cloud attached. If you're using Config Manager, you are cloud managed. That's where we want you to get to.
So here, by turning on co-management, you don't have to change anything. You get instant value. It's really cool in terms of just a couple of sliders here to get that configured as you enroll the Intune environment effectively into Configuration Manager, right?
Yeah, and like I mentioned, I described customers that are just using Config Manager current branch as being cloud connected. And you get benefits there because you're constantly getting updated. But the customers who've connected Config Manager to Intune are what we call cloud managed, because those are the customers that are receiving all the power that comes with using that intelligence in the Microsoft Cloud. And that's where all the big benefits come from. Now, your Config Manager managed Windows 10 PCs are also going to be protected with what we call conditional access. Conditional access is this unique set of capabilities from Microsoft 365 that allows us to assure that only trusted users, using trusted devices, using trusted apps get access to your data. And when you connect Config Manager to Intune, you can instantly comply or apply conditional access policies to all your existing Config Manager managed PCs.
It's really cool to see all the level of co-management. Of course, Microsoft Intune and Azure AD is also fundamental if you want to do things and take advantage of stuff like Windows Autopilot as well.
A year ago, we launched Autopilot, and it really was one of those amazing things. This is a cloud service that can quickly configure and provision new Windows 10 devices in just minutes. And one of the promises here is it literally is able to get you out of the business of maintaining images, which is actually one of the largest total cost of ownership pieces of operating Windows in the enterprise. Now, using Autopilot, the way it works is hardware vendors that you work with register the devices when you buy them inside of Azure Active Directory in the Autopilot service. Then all you need to do in IT is you customize what users see during the setup process by creating an Autopilot deployment plan. Then the hardware vendor drop ships those devices out to your users, and all they need to do is power on the device. They connect it to the internet, it starts talking with the Autopilot service, and then the device automatically gets fully provisioned and fully customized for that user's needs, all from the cloud. Now, the biggest piece of feedback that we've heard from all of you is you love what we've delivered, but you've asked us to extend the capabilities of Autopilot to your existing hardware, just not the new, but all your existing hardware. And you know what? We figured out how to do it. Now, one of our big messages for you this week is, as you're doing your upgrades from Win 7 to Win 10, do it in a way that you can reuse everything that you do in that over and over again, so that as you're staying current with the first half and the second half releases, it makes it easy. Do it right now and set yourself up for the future. Now, one of the new innovations we're delivering is enabling Autopilot for all of your devices. All your estate, and just not new devices, but literally every PC in your organization. Now, I want to give you a view of this right here. You're looking at what we call here a rip and replace OS deployment task sequence. Now you can upgrade to Windows 10 using Config Manager. It will set up your PC to use Autopilot going forward. So the first thing that happens is using Config Manager, your users get that great Autopilot experience, that wonderful visual experience during the upgrade. And then the OS deployment capabilities of Windows of Configuration Manager do all the work to enable that device now for Autopilot going forward. Now, second, Config Manager and Intune are working together in that cloud-managed environment. And then what that allows us to do is Intune is able to feed all of the data up into the Autopilot service, and so that all of your existing devices now get registered with Autopilot. Once that's done, if you need to re-provision, reconfigure any of those devices, you can do it from the cloud with Autopilot and in minutes rather than re-image your device, which you know doesn't take minutes.
Right, so we've shown how we've simplified the upgrade to Windows 10. And I have to mention that we've also done a lot of great updates to Config Manager for network optimization, some of my favorite stuff. Pure cache delivery optimization to really support moving network traffic out to the edge. And also my favorite new tech, the best name I think of any new feature, LEDBAT, to make delivery of deployment files faster using real network optimization. But why don't we switch gears and talk about Office 365 Pro Plus? What are we doing to simplify that deployment?
Yeah, our strong recommendation to all of you is to use Office Pro Plus. Throughout the event, you're going to see all these amazing cloud capabilities and how AI is working inside of the Office apps. Those only work when you're using the Office Pro apps. They don't work in Windows, in Office 2010, 13, 16, or in 2019. You have to be on the Office 365 Pro Plus applications to get all of that benefit. And so what we've been working on is a way to automatically help you make that flip, okay? So one of the really cool inventions that's coming in the 1810 release of Config Manager is the ability to take an existing Office application deployment and automatically configure that and upgrade it from the MSI, from the perpetual, to the Click-to-Run in Office Pro Plus. So what you're seeing in here is what we call the Office customization tool. So I can go in, I can configure things like the bitness of the language settings, I can exclude applications, and then you can use this policy and it quickly shifts all your devices from those Office MSI apps to the Office 365 Pro Plus Click-to-Run apps. And it does this in a way by keeping just by keeping that default that you see inside of this screen here, where you say upgrade my devices and remove the MSI, it fully does the deployment and then it removes all traces that the MSI file was even there.
Right, and it massively simplifies what you had to do before, and you have to run cleanup scripts and all the things that you might have had to do before with the MSI, so it does it all in one express upgrade step. So this is really good stuff. Thanks, Brad. These are huge updates, and I'm loving all the new capabilities for Config Manager. I think everybody else in the room is using it, sounds like. So what if I'm just getting started on the path to deploy, and I want to modernize my desktops? Where should I start?
Okay, so the key thing here is let us take the knowledge and the intelligence that we have in the cloud and help you. So right now, start using the Windows Analytics head of capabilities. It'll help you with your application and device readiness. And then stay tuned as we get desktop analytics out into the market. That's going to be foundational as you think about how you stay up with the cadence. So check it out, and then what you specifically want, if you go to aka.ms/how-to-shift, we'll keep you updated there and all the information that we're doing. Now finally, if you want to go deeper on any of the topics about the modern desktop deployment wheel, check out the Desktop Deployment Essentials series. Jeremy and team have done a phenomenal job of capturing everything in one place to help you out.
So really great recommendations. Of course, Brad is in the Desktop Deployment Essentials series. So from someone who has seen a lot of desktop deployments, I've really tried, and we've all tried actually, to bring all those different steps together, document everything, show all the tools, you can geek out on all the network optimizations. Of course, we're going to show command line tools like MBR to GPT, like you saw here, and everything that you can do to really speed up the deployment, get BIOS converted to UEFI in that case, start using your task sequences, automating as much as you can. All of that's here on ak.ms/watch-how-to-shift. That's all the time we have for today's show. I think hopefully this has been an enlightening experience for everybody in terms of all the different things that you can do for desktop deployment. Thanks for watching, and follow us on Twitter. Also follow our channel. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.